What if I told you that one of the most famous seduction stories in the Bible might not be what it seems? What if the woman we've been taught was an innocent victim was actually orchestrating the entire encounter? Today, we're diving deep into one of Scripture's most controversial moments, and the evidence might shock you. We all know the Sunday school version. King David, unable to sleep, walks on his palace roof and accidentally glimpses beautiful Bathsheba bathing. Overcome with desire, he abuses his royal power to summon her. She is portrayed as a helpless victim of the king's lust, but what if that's not the whole story? Let's start with the facts that Sunday school skips. David's palace sat on the highest point in Jerusalem, Mount Zion. This wasn't just any house. It was a towering fortress visible from every corner of the city. When the king appeared on his balcony or rooftop, people noticed. Word traveled fast in ancient cities, especially about royal movements. Archaeological evidence shows us that Jerusalem's houses were built with flat rooftops, often used as private spaces for household activities. But here's the crucial detail: these rooftops weren't secluded. They were part of a connected urban landscape where privacy was limited. Now, let's talk about Bathsheba herself. Scripture describes her as beautiful, but it also reveals she was far from naive. She was married to Uriah the Hittite, one of David's elite 30 warriors. This means she was connected to palace circles, likely privy to court gossip and royal routines. Would an intelligent woman, married to a high-ranking military officer, really be unaware that her bathing location was visible from the king's palace? Would she not know about David's evening walks, especially given the palace network she was connected to through her husband? The text tells us David saw her bathing in the evening, precisely when he habitually walked his palace roof. This wasn't a random moment, it was a predictable routine. If Bathsheba knew court gossip, and as the wife of an elite soldier, she certainly she'd know exactly when and where the king might be looking. Consider this: Jerusalem wasn't a massive city. Palace routines were public knowledge. The king's evening walks would have been as predictable as a modern celebrity's daily jog in Central Park. Here's where it gets really intriguing. The text specifically mentions that Bathsheba was purify herself from her monthly uncleanness. This detail isn't random, it's legally and theologically significant. It means she was at her most fertile time, having just completed her menstrual cycle. Did an intelligent, connected woman choose this specific timing by accident? Or did she understand exactly what message her actions would send to a king known for his passionate nature? Traditional scholarship argues that regardless of Bathsheba's awareness, she couldn't refuse a king's summons. This is absolutely true. Royal power was absolute, and saying no wasn't an option once David sent for her. But this doesn't address the question of initial intent. Did she position herself to be seen, knowing she couldn't refuse if summoned? The power dynamic doesn't eliminate the possibility of calculated actions leading to that point. Here's where this gets theologically complex. If Bathsheba was more aware than traditionally portrayed, it doesn't excuse David's abuse of power, it actually makes the story more sophisticated. Instead of a simple victim and villain narrative, we see two complex humans making choices that spiral into tragedy. This interpretation doesn't diminish God's sovereignty or the story's moral lessons. Instead, it adds layers of human complexity that make the narrative even more profound. So, what do we really know about Bathsheba? The answer, quite simply, is not enough to form a definitive judgment. Scripture intentionally leaves her inner thoughts and motivations shrouded in mystery. We see David's actions and thoughts clearly, but Bathsheba's internal experience remains hidden from view. Maybe that's the point. The story forces us to confront uncomfortable questions about agency, power, and responsibility in ways that simple victim narratives don't allow. Was Bathsheba a calculating woman who knew exactly what she was doing, or an innocent victim of royal power? The evidence points to a far more complex story than most of us learned in Sunday school. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more biblical mysteries that challenge everything you thought you knew about Scripture. Until next time, thanks for joining me on this journey through faith and discovery.